Alright guys, Fuller coming to you with another video. Shout outs to the whole LDBC. If you like the video, please like it. And if you want to subscribe to the page, I invite you to subscribe to the page and tap in. But you don't have to. As I said before, it's always by choice, never by force. So I want to talk about something in the boxing world. I mean, as I said before, boxing right now is at a pretty much at a standstill. Ain't nothing happening in boxing right now. The only thing that's happening in boxing right now is Twitter beefs and Instagram lives. Fights aren't being negotiated. Fights aren't being made. That's the bottom line. All we can talk about is potential fights being made. Potential fights that will happen down the line. If you may want to call them fantasy fights that may happen down the line. As it stands right now. I want to talk about the 135 division. Now, it's a deep division. Okay, you have a lot of guys. And I think in terms of youth, that's the youngest division. It's 135. Okay. So you have one elephant in the room who I'm riding for until the wheels fall off. And that's Devin Haney. You have another self-proclaimed elephant in the room by the name of Teofimo Lopez. And at this point, I do think Teofimo Lopez will beat Vasily Lomachenko. The only thing that Lomachenko has over Teofimo Lopez is possibly maybe better ring IQ and possibly better footwork and experience. I mean, allegedly he had 396 amateur fights in which he won and he only lost one. Allegedly. And in his pro fights, I guess you can say he's had more experience in those as well. This being said, I do give Teofimo the edge. He has the youth, the athleticism, and definitely probably more hunger than Vasily Lomachenko to be great. As it stands right now, I think Vasily Lomachenko prefers easy fights so he can just cruise along and go along and let them place him as a Hall of Famer. I truly believe that. Because I think if he really wanted to fight these young guys, if he really wanted to fight the Tanks, if he really wanted to fight the Devin Haneys, if he really wanted to fight them, these fights would be made already. I mean, Devin Haney was supposed to fight him, but Team Lomachenko went to Mauricio Sulaiman and said franchise champion. Real talk. Right? So, with that being said, let's go to Teofimo. Now, there was a beef with, I wouldn't say there was a beef with Devin Haney on Twitter. He said, "Shut the F up, you talk too much." They were going back and forth. I think there was another interview in which Teofimo said that Devin Haney is too cocky and the like thereof. There's been previous interviews with Devin Haney and Teofimo going back. Well, there's been previous interviews with Teofimo talking fly about Devin Haney. The one that sticks out the most is when Teofimo's dad said that they made Devin Haney cry in sparring. As a result of this, Devin Haney came out and said the complete opposite. As a matter of fact, He said that Teofimo said he was running in sparring, but Teofimo also said that he stopped him in sparring and was taking a lot of punishment. So which one is it? If you're running, obviously you're not going to take a lot of punishment. I tend to lean towards Devin Haney's side of the story more, as it is more consistent. And one thing I will say about Teofimo, and I will always reference this, is when Devin Haney pulled up on him at that one fight, I forgot what fight it is. Teofimo's arms were folded. Teofimo looked as if he was like nervous. Teofimo, although he didn't stutter over his words, it looked like he was getting overpowered in terms of charisma by Devin Haney. Now, with that being said, I truly do think that Devin Haney would beat Teofimo Lopez. I look at the physical stature of Devin Haney, and he's just a longer fighter. I look at the boxing skill of Devin Haney, and I realize he's just a better fighter. The only thing that maybe Teofimo has over him is power. Maybe. Just maybe. I look at the business acumen of Devin Haney, and he is a better businessman than Teofimo Lopez and his father. Okay? At the same time, Teofimo is being kind of hypocritical. You're saying all this stuff about Devin Haney being cocky and stuff like that, but you're completely throwing Lomachenko under the bus. Now, don't get it wrong. I'm not a fan of Lomachenko, but why are you having such double standards like that? You know? You talk about other people calling you cocky, but then you say, oh, I don't care, this, that, and the other. So which one is it? Which one is it? Okay? If you don't care about being called cocky, why would you care about Devin Haney being cocky? I think at the end of the day, all Devin Haney wants is a chance to prove that he's the best at 135. And me personally, if I had to choose two fighters that were dark horses at 135, I would say Devin Haney and Rolex. Now, don't get it twisted. Rolex, I guess you can say he can box, but I think, you know, in order to compete at the elite, he just has to tighten up on a couple of things. But he just has power that's really serious, man. But I don't think he's just gonna rely on power. You know what I mean? I think he has more tools that he'll rely on. But this is just a short video. In my opinion, Devin Haney is G. Like he's cut from a different cloth than a lot of these guys, I think. And I think that's why they're throwing rocks at him. It's because they know, they sense the energy, they sense the hunger. You know, it's just unfortunately with Devin Haney, the only downside is he's mismanaged by Eddie Hearn. You know, Eddie Hearn promises him these fights, and then, you know, these fights don't come to fruition. You know, that's the only downside. It's the same thing with Demetrius Andrade. You know, Eddie Hearn, you know, he doesn't give these people these fights. You know what I mean? There's preferential treatment. And then when he managed to get Billy Joe Saunders to fight with Canelo, Billy Joe Saunders messes it up. And that's my thing about Eddie Hearn. You have a stable of disciplined fighters who are willing to get in there with anybody, but you let this undisciplined fool who can't even make weight skip the line. Yeah, I think I know why you let him skip the line, but I'm not going to say it on here. But let me know what y'all think about this. I just feel that Devin Haney would, I wouldn't say he would wash Teofimo, but he would break him down. He would break Teofimo down, and then eventually he would probably cruise to a unanimous decision or late round stoppage. I'm not saying Teofimo don't got anything for him, but just Devin Haney, I'm looking at his stature, his length, and his fast twitch muscles. Yeah, I think he just beats Teofimo in that regards with that. But anyhow, let me know what y'all think about this whole thing, this Twitter beef and stuff like that. Fula signing out. Njada.